On the outskirts of Black Hollow, a dense and shadowy forest, stood an abandoned house with rotting wooden walls and shattered windows. Locals spoke of a presence, a whispering entity that had claimed the house for its own. No one dared venture near it, not even the foolhardy teenagers who thrived on dares and bravado. Despite the warnings, Mia, a skeptical journalist hungry for a compelling story, decided to investigate. Armed with a flashlight, a voice recorder, and a camera, she made her way to the house one cold, moonlit night. The forest seemed alive, branches clawing at her coat, leaves rustling as though warning her to turn back. But Mia, driven by a need to uncover the truth, pressed on. The house loomed before her, its broken door hanging from rusted hinges. She hesitated only for a moment before stepping inside. The air was heavy with the scent of mildew and decay. Her flashlight illuminated peeling wallpaper and furniture shrouded in dust. As she explored, the silence grew oppressive. Each creak of the floorboards under her weight seemed deafening. In the living room, she set her voice recorder on a dusty coffee table and began speaking into it. This is Mia Grant, inside the so-called Whispering House. It's eerily quiet so far, though locals claim to hear. She paused, feeling a sudden chill. The hair on her neck stood on end. Whispering. A faint sound drifted through the air, so soft she thought she'd imagined it. It grew louder, a sibilant hiss that seemed to come from every direction. Heart pounding, she picked up the recorder. "Who's there?" she called, her voice trembling. The whispering stopped. Then a single word. "Mia!" Her blood turned to ice. She hadn't imagined it. Someone or something knew her name. She swung the flashlight wildly, the beam cutting through the gloom. Shadows danced, but nothing moved. "This isn't funny," she shouted. The whispering resumed, more insistent this time. Words overlapped, unintelligible but laden with malice. It was as if dozens of voices were speaking at once, pressing against her mind. Mia stumbled back, her hand brushing against something cold and metallic. She turned the flashlight to reveal a rusted key lying on the floor. It seemed out of place, as though someone had left it there deliberately. Against her better judgment, she picked it up. The whispers grew louder, almost excited. She found herself drawn to a door at the end of the hallway, one she hadn't noticed before. The key fit perfectly. The lock clicked, and the door creaked open to reveal a staircase spiraling downward into darkness. A foul smell wafted up, making her gag. I should leave," she whispered to herself, but her legs moved of their own accord. Each step felt heavier than the last, as though unseen hands were pushing her forward. Her flashlight flickered, casting fleeting glimpses of the damp stone walls. At the bottom of the stairs was a cavernous room. Symbols were etched into the walls, their meanings inscrutable but deeply unsettling. At the center of the room stood a stone pedestal, upon which lay a tattered book. The whispers surged, now a cacophony of demands. "Read it," they urged. Mia's hands shook as she approached the pedestal. She didn't want to obey, but her body felt disconnected from her mind. The book's cover was made of leather, cracked and stained with age. She opened it, the pages brittle beneath her fingers. Strange looping script covered the pages, glowing faintly in the dim light. As she read aloud, the temperature dropped sharply. The whispers coalesced into a single voice, deep and guttural. "You have called me, and I answer." The ground trembled. Shadows thickened, coiling together until they formed a towering figure with glowing red eyes. Mia dropped the book and backed away, her mind screaming for her to run, but her body refused to move. "Who are you?" she choked out. The entity laughed, a sound that seemed to reverberate through her very bones. "I am the echo of this place, the hunger that dwells within. You should not have come." Tears streamed down Mia's face. "I didn't mean to. I just wanted—" "And now you belong to me," it interrupted. The shadows surged forward, enveloping her. Pain lanced through her body, and the world went black. Days later, when a search party ventured into the house, they found no trace of Mia. Her camera lay shattered on the floor, the last image burned into its memory, a blurred silhouette with glowing eyes. The whispers in Black Hollow grew louder after that night, calling out a new name. Come. And so the house waits, hungry for the next curious soul to answer its call.